Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here with the second of two crow journals that I've just completed. Crow, raven, blackbird kind of theme journals. This one is the Crows of Pearblossom. It is in this original book by Aldous Huxley, illustrated by Barbara Cooney. And I did a little mixed media on the cover. I liked this golden yellow, so I didn't want to get rid of it completely, but I did want to grunge it up a little. This was a very thin children's book and I needed a nice fat spine, so I made one. And it has been stitched across with this beautiful lace on both sides and then this gorgeous lace at the back that has been gilded. There's some stamping, there's oxide, there's all that good stuff and it's all been sealed in, and this is all stitched down so it's not going to go anywhere. There is a spine dangle through an eyelet here on some yellow waxed linen, and it's a lot of fun. So it's got little eggs, it's got some crystals, it's got these little fun crows, it's got shiny things, a little black acorn, more shiny things, a little coppery key, a little shashi mirror, lots of little Swarovski crystal beads and vintage glass buttons. Just things that a crow or a raven might want to collect. There's a little like faux diamond there and some just fun crystally things and these speckled eggs, little plastic grapes, all sorts of good things. So this book is 5 signatures. There's lots of room for growth. I did not overstuff this book, but it does have a lot of nice ephemera and paper in it. So it has this gold seam binding closure through these brown metal eyelets. Just hearing my son upstairs. I think he's screaming because he wants to take the dog for a walk. So if you hear him, that's all that is. Getting frazzled here. I have to untie this. There we go. Okay. It is March break, so please bear with me. Okay, so the front, I have used the original book papers to create the end papers. So in this one, I had an extra, like this was in really great shape, this book. So I was able to use this to create the pocket. So it's got these lovely green eggs on it. So long story short, the Crows of Pearblossom are a crow couple, and they keep having an egg, but then this snake keeps getting the egg and eating it. So eventually they take care of the snake and basically tie him in a knot and he becomes a clothesline. And it's not the nicest story, like most older children's literature. So I haven't turned this into a storybook journal. It's more of a thematic kind of blackbird journal. But I've left the original pages. I've just painted over the words because I felt like it was a little violent. So this is a quote from Edgar Allan Poe. "Open here I flung the shutter when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of this saintly days of yore." And then inside the pocket we have a few things. So this lovely American Crow fact card, that goes in there. And this is an image of mine, of this woman who runs with crows. And then a little sort of shakery card with a little crow in there and all sorts of sparkly bits. And that all lives in there. This is the original first page of the Crows of Pearblossom. And on back, sorry, one of my lights just shut off, but I think we're okay. We're okay. We have a 1967 copyright, and this is an image, a paper doll by Studioloo on Etsy. And then this is some of my dyed paper. And this lovely wreath of crows, some stamping, and one of the little green eggs from the original book. Blue dyed paper. This is actually done with indigo. This is a really old antique vintage playing card, which I love. It's like an Art Deco style. I treasure these, so I added one to this book. And this crow back here, this is a tag with an image from Miles Beyond the Moon. Over here, so is this cabinet card from Miles Beyond the Moon. And this is a cabinet card with Miles Beyond the Moon, her background, and I added this crow and this quote from Mehmet Murad Ildat: "On the road to wisdom, behave like a raven and observe everything carefully." Cabbage dyed paper, another crow in a wreath, and then this is Miles Beyond the Moon's background. This belly band here with this image of this lady with crows all around her. Another green egg on the back of that. And then this was from an art book. It's a beautiful painting. And then we have this collaged page here with feathers, this tag for writing on. A little collaged pocket. This is from a children's book. We have this crow standing on this gargoyle, sort of looking down at these knights. And it's just a piece of stationery. And that's Miles Beyond the Moon floral paper. This image here of this girl with these birds. And cabbage dyed paper. Another Miles Beyond the Moon image. This is a reflective pocket because we know crows like shiny things. And this is from the other journal that I made that's called Woman Chased by Crows from the Shelburne Public Library. This is a little label that I stitched on and added this crow. And then back here we have that bird. And then this is a collaged painted tag with an iridescent top with this scary crow on it. And then some blue dyed paper and stamping from Robert Jordan. To fight the raven, you may make alliance with the serpent until the battle is done, Robert Jordan. So that's actually really relevant to this book. I told you what the theme was. This lovely image here, and some more of my painted paper, or dyed paper rather. This is one of the original pages from the book. That's Mrs. Crow there, and there she is discovering the snake. And see, I've painted with an opaque blue paint over the text. If you've never written on top of opaque acrylic paint before, it is such a joy. So I always cover my text that way because I really like it. This is the Crows of Pearblossom, like one of the entry pages. There's about 3 of them in this book, and they're all really pretty. Like this one's very lovely. So this is actually Mr. Crow painting a fake egg. That's part of his scheme to get the snake. From Jim Morrison, death makes angels of us all and gives us wings where we had shoulders smooth as raven's claws. Some of my dyed paper. These are the jays, the blue and stellar jay. I thought I would include them as bird friends to the blackbirds. And then this little collaged stitch journal card here. And this is Miles Beyond the Moon background paper with this bird up top here. Some stamping of just some fun, outdoorsy kind of stuff that you would see around a crow. Some pine and some cones. More of my hand-dyed paper. A little acetate pocket and a crow there, and another lady who's just been swarmed by these blackbirds. This is a page from Miles Beyond the Moon. It's the Shades of Black, and another of the images of the lady with the crows. Then we have this paper doll from by Studioloo. This is a vintage rook card, and inside it we have this journal card. It says, "When I die, let the black rag fly raven falling from the sky." George Woodcock, sorry. I can't talk today. This little center image here. And over here from Thomas Darcy McGee, "The raven's house is built with reeds, sing woe and alas is me, and the raven's couch is spread with weeds high on the hollow tree, and the raven himself telling his beads in penance for his past misdeeds upon the top I see." I apologize for my voice, one moment. Okay. Some lovely gray paper. This is a belly band. This is a little sketch that I found that I did in high school of this little floppy whimsical doll and this little black bird flying down to her with a flower. So I thought that would be a cute kind of personal thing to include in this book. This is a little pocket made from the original book and a Miles Beyond the Moon collaged cabinet card. And this is my bird image, but the rest is from Miles Beyond the Moon, except for that little number label. And then this acetate pocket on this image with this contract score pad of this kind of raven girl. Some more of my dyed paper. Some stamping of a crow here on top of a skull with a sword and a book. This is a page from Miles Beyond the Moon. Some of my hand-dyed paper. Once upon a time, there were two crows who had a nest in a cottonwood tree at Pearblossom. So that's the first page of the book. Then over here I used the spine of the original book, The Crows of Pearblossom, and used that as a pocket there. And this is The Shrewd Black Watcher. A little knowledge, if you please, does very little more than tease. Croaker the Raven. And that is from Old Mother Nature. I can't remember, Thornton Burgess's book. And this is another page of the original book of Mrs. Crow here. And there she is using her clothesline, which is actually the snake. A collage pocket here with a Miles Beyond the Moon image. And this is one of my collage tags. This little green egg is from the original book. Cabbage dyed paper. A little wreath of crows there. And this is the raven from a British Book of Birds. It's like a little info card that I turned into like a big journal card. It's just held on with a rusty paper clip there, and a little stamped mushroom. Some of my Frosty Windows hand-dyed paper. This is a page from Edith Holden, Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And then this pocket is from another book. It's a kind of like a little, like if a drone was taking a picture, but in the olden days. And it's C'est ouvert, and it has this little crow there. And then this journal tag that I collaged. Some of my hand-dyed paper, this lovely gray paper. This is a stamp of like a little tree house, a little round door going into a stump. And some maple leaves, marbled paper, a little pocket here that's been collaged with a little label from Release the Crafton that has a raven there. And then in here, I took this image of ghost pipes and turned it into like a little card, added a crow from my Little Crow, or Little Men and the Crows Who Love Them, or no, sorry, Crows and the Little Men Who Love Them kit, and added a Charles Spurgeon quote. The cry of a young raven is nothing but the natural cry of a creature, but your cry, if it be sincere, is the result of a work of grace in your heart. And over here from Friedrich Nietzsche, does wisdom perhaps appear on the earth as a raven, which is inspired by the smell of carrion? This is some of my hand-dyed paper. A little light bulb stamp here. The crows fly away but return the next day. And then this is some marbled paper, some stamping. This lovely image of this girl. Some gray paper. Some of my hand-dyed paper, more Edith Holden. This is the reason that this page is in here. When all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marian's nose looks red and raw, from Shakespeare. Some hand-dyed paper and a stamped moon. This image here of this girl with her blackbird. This is cabbage dyed paper. This green paper was from the front of a lovely big book. This is from the original book. We have a wise owl here talking to Mr. Crow about what to do about this snake. And this is a rosy, I can't remember the name of this bird, but isn't it beautiful? So I collaged it on top of this Miles Beyond the Moon cabinet card and added a James D. Doss quote, "Needless to say, urgings by ravens are ignored at one's peril." Rosie Panagia or something, I can't remember the name. This was from an art book. This is some painted over text with that lovely blue paint. The Crows of Pearblossom. That's the end of the snake there. And there's the crows looking up at the snake with the egg in his mouth in their nest. This is a Miles Beyond the Moon page and some stamping of a mask and wings. A boiled book page with eucalyptus and rose petal. This is a pocket here that's been collaged, and it says, "Look into the crow's nest." We have this image behind, and this is just from a British bird guide with the rook and carrion crow. So I just wanted to leave that alone as a nice little information tuck-in. This is a collage pocket here on this lovely Miles Beyond the Moon background, and this tag inside. That just taps down. And this is some of my hand-dyed paper. A Miles Beyond the Moon cabinet card with this little crow here. And it's on this fun page. It was from, like, I think a vampire book, actually, like, but it has just some dark kind of gothic scenery. And then this is a journal card that I made, a Miles Beyond the Moon cabinet card, and then I used this guy from an old book, added this crow, and then this, you know, scientific name for this crow. And then this is some beautiful marbled paper from thepapertrail.ca with a Miles Beyond the Moon, kids on the front with their blackbird, and a Jessica Sorensen quote, "Like a feather in a dust storm with no direction, the raven flies through life helpless and omitted until night declares and the wild expires. Then it flies to the land of stones and etchings and becomes an ember breaking away." Some cabbage dyed paper, Miles Beyond the Moon, a little blackberry kind of sticker down there, and a dark pansy. More of that book. And some of my dyed paper. This was from like a science book. It's a blackbird. And then this is from a children's book. You know, I think it's that Sixpence Crows and a Sixpence, a pocket full of pie, or something. I can't remember how it goes. Pocket full of sixpence. You know, something about the king having this blackbird pie. This is what happens when I don't keep the verse, you see. And then this crow image. This is more of the boiled book page, and a little green egg from the original book. More stamping of feathers and eyes there. This is a rook card from a card game on this sunflower page with this library card here with the crow painted over text and the nest from the original book. This is all from the original book, and I did a little mixed media treatment here with this. Again, the original book and the cabbage dyed paper, hand dyed lace paper. This is a page from my kit about the little men and the crows that they love, and that's on my Etsy. You can find it there. Just search for crows. This was from the cover of a book called The Raven, which is Algonquin Park's publication about like stories about their park. Just a gorgeous page that I had to turn into a big journal card for this pocket. This large wing here. This is from a field guide. This pocket here with this collage tag inside. And then on the opposite side we have another field guide page of the jackdaw on my hand dyed paper, and it's been turned into a large journal card held on by a rusty paper clip. This is a Miles Beyond the Moon page. A little sticker here of a blackbird. More of my hand dyed paper. Another little sticker of a blackbird. This collaged pocket on a Miles Beyond the Moon background with a cabinet card with this crow and this little shaker card here. All sorts of glitz inside. Hand dyed paper. Another field guide page. And another of those wings. Another of the old men with his pockets full of crows. And then this is a large, beautiful page from a children's book with the fox and the crow, and it has the story on both sides, so you'll have the whole story there and just that beautiful image. So I thought, rather than trying to turn it into stationery or anything like that, I just wanted to include the whole thing because it's kind of a treasure from a vintage children's book. Then the other side is my Frosty Windows hand-dyed paper and some cabbage dyed paper. This is the final page from the original book, and I've left the original write-up about the story on the back here, and we have this beautiful Release the Craft in envelope that has been rusty paper clipped on. And inside of it, we have this journal tag with one of my high school sketches from my old sketchbook of these trees, and I added this crow on the front. So that just pops in there and overhangs the page, and we have the rest of the paper clip to hold it there. And then I kept the back simple using the original paper again, and just my lovely seal there with the crow feather. So that is the end of the Crows of Pearblossom. So thank you so much for joining me. If you are seeing this video, that means that this journal is up in my Etsy shop, and I will talk to you all again very soon. So bye for now.